Hello and welcome to Into the Woods with Holly Worton. This podcast has evolved over the 5+ years since it first launched. From now on, I'm going to be talking about deepening your connection with yourself, taking inspired action, and really trusting yourself and your intuition. And also mindset, of course, but mindset of all kinds, not just business mindset. I think. Things are changing for me, as you may have noticed if you've been following me online or listening to this podcast, so anything goes here. I hope you stay along for the ride. Thank you so much for joining us today, and now let's get into this week's episode. Hello and welcome to the Into the Woods podcast, episode 310. This is your host, Holly Worton, and I'm back with another solo episode. I'm thinking I need to start including outtakes or bloopers at the end of these episodes because I just introduced this podcast as the Business Mindset Podcast. And I had to go back and delete it before I re-recorded it properly. Clearly, I still have mindset on my mind. But today, for this week's episode, I'm going to be talking about something different. Mindset's in there, as it always is, but I'm going to be talking about security. Because that's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially financial security and what that looks like to me. But I've also realized that feeling safe and secure in the world has been a big issue for me in many aspects of my life. It's something that I've done a lot of mindset work on so that I could make better decisions and take better actions to create a life where I feel more safe and secure. And I've realized that feeling safe and secure is really important, not just for me, but for other people, and not just in terms of personal safety and money and finance, but in all areas of our life. So today I thought I'd talk about ways in which we can feel more safe and secure in the world in all areas of our lives. So what are you going to learn today? I'm going to be talking about how you can feel more safe and secure in your life, in all areas of your life. I'm going to talk about why this is important, how to get clear on just how safe and secure you feel today in different areas of your life. I'm going to discuss how to envision what it would look like for you to feel safe and secure in all areas of your life, because this is going to look different for everyone. And I'm going to include questions that you can ask yourself to explore this topic further, whether it's journaling or just thinking about this. So let's talk about feeling safe and secure. Why is this important? I feel like a great deal of stress that I've experienced in my life has been a result of not feeling safe and secure. I've had a lot of fears and issues around personal safety in my life. And that's led me to make some decisions, both good and bad, in my life. But it's ultimately created a lot of fears, this lack of safety and security. And I think this is kind of flip side way of looking at things. I mean, I've spent a lot of time looking at fears in my life and doing the mindset work to clear those fears. The flip side of that, as I say, is looking at safety and security and thinking about what it looks like to feel safe and secure in different areas of my life, what I need to believe to feel safe and secure in my life. What things do I need to have in place, like practical action, real life things? And what does that look like? And what's that going to give me? For me, what that gives me, feeling safe and secure in different areas of my life, it releases those fears and it just makes me feel less stressed, more relaxed, more confident that things are on track in life and I've got things kind of organized and taken care of. I'm starting to get things together in certain areas of my life, particularly the financial area, and I'll talk about that more in a minute, but it's making me feel like I've got things in place so that I can make better decisions in the future and make better decisions based from not fear. I don't know what that is instead. So if I'm not making decisions based on fear, I guess most people would say I'm making decisions based on love. But it's more like making decisions based from not just rational decisions, but also being able to hear my gut decisions and my intuition and not have that frequency, that communication, that line of connection messed up by fear. Because I think fear can absolutely interfere with our decision making, not just in the gut intuition kind of decision making, but also practical, rational decision making. Sometimes we simply don't make good decisions because fear gets in the way and makes us do stuff that's not in our best interest or keeps us from taking action towards the things we want to take. So as I'm talking, you can pause this at any time, of course, because it's a podcast, but stop and think about how safe and secure do you feel in your life today? And what fears do you have around your lack of safety and security that you might have in certain areas of your life? And maybe write down what are the first things that came to mind. So in a minute, I'm going to go into the different areas of your life. But when I said, how safe and secure do you feel in your life? What popped up for you? Was it money? Was it lack of support? Was it something to do with your business or career? What came up for you in terms of feeling safe and secure or not feeling safe and secure? So if you're a life coachy kind of person or a business coachy kind of person, you're probably familiar with the wheel of life. I've talked about it before on this podcast, and it's something that I've shared in different aspects of my work. So when I was exploring this for myself, I thought the best way to analyze how safe and secure I feel in different aspects of my life is to create a wheel of safety and security. So I've taken the different kind of life categories, similar to what you would find on a wheel of life, and I've adjusted them a little bit. So let's start out with finance and money. So how safe and secure do you feel financially in your life? Do you have savings? Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a pension? Do you have savings for retirement? Do you have investments? And how long ago did you start saving and investing? Because the earlier you start, the more you'll have when it's time to retire. Do you have an emergency fund? Do you have a 1-month emergency fund of all the amount of money that you would spend on your monthly household budget? Do you have that saved somewhere? Do you have a 3-month emergency fund? Do you have a 6-month emergency fund? How safe and secure do you feel? These are some of the things that you can have in place that will help you feel safe and secure in terms of money. Do you have life insurance? Do you have other kinds of insurance that can help make sure that you have the money that you need in case your health affects your business, if you have a business? If you're not self-employed, if you have a job, how safe and secure do you feel in terms of your salary? Because you're dependent on someone else for the money that you make every month. You're dependent on your company making good decisions and not going bankrupt or having to downsize and lay off people. And how safe and secure do you feel financially in your business? Do you feel like you have enough eggs in different baskets so that you've got a variety of income streams, that you're making money from different places? Because that's another thing that can help you feel safe and secure. On the flip side, do you have lots of debt? Do you owe a lot of money on your mortgage or student loans, or do you have lots of credit card debt? Take a look at that as well, because those are things that can make us feel not so safe and secure. So take a look at your finances. This is something I've been doing a lot lately. I know I've mentioned this before, the Meaningful Money podcast, but I've done the Learn How to Invest course, which he offers, and I'll link to this in the show notes. And because I'm a member of the the Learn How to Invest course, I've now been upgraded or grandfathered into the Meaningful Academy, which looks at kind of all aspects of money, not just investing. So this is something I've been thinking about. All the different modules on that course have led to new books and new things, and I've just read this book, which actually you can get for free, and I will link to this in the show notes. It's by Paul Armson, and it's called Enough. How much money do you need for the rest of your life? And it's basically to help you figure out how much money you need to retire and make sure that you can kind of keep the same lifestyle that you have, or change the lifestyle, but make sure that you have enough money for the lifestyle that you want. So again, I'll link to this in the show notes. The author actually will send you a free paperback of this book. And I was going through it yesterday. I read about 2/3 of it yesterday, and I think it's really, really useful. He actually has some software that you can get that will help you calculate really easily how much money you need for the rest of your life. And he gives you a really, really huge discount using this discount code that you can get in the book, which is, of course, why he's giving you the book for free. But I think it's affordable and it's worth having, and I'm going to be playing around with that for myself as well. So I've been thinking a lot about my lifestyle today, what kind of lifestyle I want to have in the future, and how I can make sure that happens. I have not always been responsible with money in the past. I've lived in countries where the currency wasn't very stable, and so I wasn't saving, and while I could have saved in other countries, I didn't. For a long time, I was just living month to month and not putting money away, and that has changed, and it's definitely made me feel a lot more safe and secure. Now, hopefully your money situation is a lot more stable than mine has been throughout much of my life. But that's something that I've learned. I used to have really, really good money habits and money practices. And then in my very first business, I had a business partner who had really poor money habits. And I picked those up as well. And it's taken me years to kind of unravel the poor money management practices that I was involved with for so many years. So I feel like I'm finally getting back on track, and I'm feeling so much more safe and secure financially, and also just organized and less stressed. So to me, feeling safe and secure leads to less stress, and that's always a good thing. So that's finance and money. What about health and wellness? So how safe and secure do you feel in terms of your health and wellness? If you live in a country where you have to pay for your health care, how are you doing with that? Do you have health insurance? Is your health insurance good enough to care for your health properly today and into the future? Do you have money saved for medical emergencies? If you live in a country where your health care is provided for you by the government, are you getting checkups? Are you going to see the doctor? Do you feel like you've got your kind of a clear vision of what your health is like? If you're more into the alternative healthcare type of lifestyle, are you keeping up on that? Are you getting the scans that you want to be getting, like bioresonance scanning or whatever it is that you do? Are you getting your health looked at using whatever type of healthcare you prefer? And how do you feel about your health and wellness? Do you feel safe and secure? If you don't, what would you need to do to feel safe and secure about your health and wellness? Would you need to get checkups more often? Would you need to see a different doctor? Would you need to see a specialist about something? What would you need to be doing differently that you're not doing now? Relationships and connection. So this is what I've called friends and family. How do you feel? Do you feel safe and secure in terms of your relationships and connections? So you can look at this from a bunch of different ways. So the first thing that comes to mind for me is, for 10 years, I was in a relationship with someone who was also my business partner, and that was a very violent relationship, and it was a very unhealthy relationship. And I felt very unsafe and very insecure about my life due to the fact that I was in this relationship with this person. And talked about this on different podcast episodes, so I won't go into it too much, but it was really, really unnerving. There was a lot of gaslighting going on. I had no idea what was right, what was wrong, which way was up, which way was down. I was just completely messed up in my head. So I felt totally unsafe. And that's taken me a long time to recover from. I mean, it's been 10 years since then, and I'm still doing therapy to clear some of that stuff. So you could look at how safe and secure do you feel in terms of your relationships. That could be your partner, that could be your parents, it could be your friends. Do you have any friendships that perhaps, or with people who make you feel unsafe? Or do you have any relationships with family members that make you feel unsafe? It could be your family of origin. Or maybe you just feel unsafe about their future. Maybe they're not taking care of themselves and you feel worried for them. Could be that. So however you choose to evaluate or consider your safety and security in terms of your relationships and your connections with other people. And that might mean disconnecting from some people. That can be difficult to do, but sometimes it's very necessary. The next category that I've come up with is support. And that can mean, again, whatever you want it to mean. So if you're a parent and you've got kids, what's your support system look like in terms of your kids? Not just now in terms of childcare and schooling and financial support for the kids, but also in the future. What if something were to happen to you? Who's going to take care of the kids? What if something were to happen to you and the other parent, your co-parent? What's going to happen to your kids? I don't have kids, as you know, but this is something I worry about for my cats. So if you're a pet parent, we're just getting our wills sorted out. We've got an appointment with someone, and so we've been kind of going back and forth and thinking about this. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen to the cats? So I just contacted our cat breeder and said, can I put you in our will? Because I don't really have anyone that I can trust to take care of the cats if we both die. And these are little things, but little things that can cause stress in your life. Don't underestimate how small. Don't think you have to look at really big things. I mean, for someone, they might think, you're worried about your cats when you die? That's ridiculous. It's something that causes a little bit of stress in my life. So think about what little things or what big things or medium-sized things might be causing you to feel unsafe or insecure or stressed about your life. So support. Who do you need to support? So maybe not just people that you have to support like your children, but maybe your family of origin, your parents, or maybe you have people with disabilities in your life that need support. Or maybe it's supporting yourself with your own disabilities. What kind of support? How do you feel safe and secure in terms of the support that you have or that you need or that you want in your life? And what would make you feel more safe and secure in terms of your support that you have in your life? And what would be doing differently if you had the kind of support that you want and need? Spirituality and religion. I included this in there, and I'm not 100% sure whether it's a good fit for this wheel of safety and security, but I think there are some people who are probably in a situation where they maybe don't feel so safe and secure in terms of their spiritual path or religion. So perhaps you're involved in a group or something that doesn't make you feel safe or that you're not 100% sure about, or maybe someone you know is in a religious or spiritual group that you think might not be safe for them, and maybe that's causing you stress. So think about that. Or how safe and secure do you feel in terms of religious or spiritual path that you're on, in terms of how aligned it feels for you, or how confident you feel about that group or that path being right for you. So again, you could evaluate this area in terms of what I've said, or it might mean something else for you. So other things are coming up for you when I mention these categories that are things that you hadn't considered or that I haven't mentioned. Evaluate those as well. Self-expression. So how safe and secure do you feel in terms of expressing yourself? There are things that I don't necessarily feel safe and secure talking about. I've just mentioned this previous relationship and business partner of mine. I don't always feel safe talking about that. Actually, I never feel safe talking about that because I'm still concerned about the effect that this person could have on my life. So I'm careful about what I say, and I'm careful about where I say it, and I'm careful about when I say it, and I'm always mindful of the fact that certain people could be listening to this or reading my blog posts. So I don't feel safe about expressing all the things that I want to express in my life. And perhaps that will change in the future, and perhaps I will be sharing more about some of the things that I've experienced in my life. But for now, I don't feel 100% safe talking about all the things that I would like to talk about to you. So I'm careful. I think about that. So what about you in terms of self-expression? And that could be self-expression for your blog, your podcast, your art, your music, your whatever. Do you feel safe and secure expressing yourself in whatever way you choose to express yourself? And maybe that's not just in creating content or art. Maybe that's in speaking your truth, in speaking to other people, in talking to other people about how you feel and what you're experiencing. How safe do you feel doing that? And I'm not saying that you should be able to say 100% what you believe in 100% of the occasions with 100% of the people in your life, because we need to know our audience and we need to know when it's safe to do certain things. But it's good to know, how safe and secure do you feel expressing yourself in all the different ways that you choose to express yourself? What could you do, or what could happen to make you feel more safe and secure in your self-expression? How would your life change once you felt more safe and secure in your self-expression? And what would you be doing differently if you felt safer and more secure in terms of self-expression? Next category is lifestyle. Now, how safe and secure do you feel in your current lifestyle? Now, I think this is going to have a bit of an overlap with money and finance, but I'm going to roll with it anyway, because I think it is kind of different. So how safe and secure do you feel in terms of your ability to maintain this lifestyle? Next week, next month, next year, into retirement and beyond? How do you think you're going to have to shift things up? And what would make you feel more safe and secure in terms of your ability to maintain this lifestyle or improve it or change it? Would you need to have more savings, more investments, more of an emergency fund? What would make you feel more safe and secure in terms of your lifestyle? And what would you be doing differently if you already felt more safe and secure in terms of your lifestyle? Next category is business and career, or job or profession. And again, this is going to have some overlaps with finance and money. So how do you currently feel in terms of security in your business and career or professional life? What would make you feel more safe and secure in your business and professional life? And how would your life change if you felt more safe and secure in this area? What would you be doing differently that you don't do now? And what would that look like to feel totally safe and secure in terms of your business or career? Would you have additional income streams? Would you have additional passive income streams? Would you have a job? Would you have like a little side gig where you are creating additional income streams that don't involve relying on your job? What would you do? Or would you take out like insurance? What would you do so that you felt more safe and secure in terms of your business and or career? And that's just in terms of money. Perhaps if you have a job, there are things that you could do to ensure your future in the company that you work for, different projects that you could take on, or making sure that the people on your team and your superiors know that you're doing a good job with what you're doing. Think about what you could do to make yourself feel more safe and secure in your job or your business. And then those are the 8 categories that I've come up with, but maybe there are more categories that you have thought of as I've been talking about these things. So if there's anything else that's popped into your head, whether it's like an area of your life or different things that you could do to feel more safe and secure in other areas of your life, write that down. Think about it, explore it, and then take action. So don't just think about this stuff. Plan what actions you can take. Plan what you can do differently to take different actions so that you can feel more safe and secure in your life and reduce stress. Now, of course, there's the mindset aspect of this. Like, what do you need to believe to feel more safe and secure in all these areas of your life? Who do you need to be to take the actions that you need to take in order to feel more safe and secure in your life? As always, do the mindset work that you need to do, either with yourself or by hiring a professional, so that you can believe the things you need to believe, to take the actions you need to take to feel more safe and secure in your life. Now, I think it's also worth looking at priorities. Like, of these 8 different categories and the other categories that you may have added, which ones are most important? Like, what category, what is the single number 1 category that's important for you to have under control, feeling safe and secure in that category so that everything becomes a little bit easier? It might be money and finance. It might be health and wellness. It might be lifestyle, business, career. Figure out what the order of priority is for you in terms of categories. Pick the most important one and start working on that. Take that action first. Because I'm going to include a free download of the Wheel of Safety and Security for you to print out and do on your own. But I think it's really important to not get overwhelmed by this and think, oh my God, all these areas are terrible. I need to fix all of them all at once. Don't worry about that. Pick one, work on it, and then pick the second one, work on it, and go from there. But break it down into little chunks and step by step, do the things you need to do so that you can feel more safe and secure in all these areas of your life. Finally, I wanted to talk about the safety and security that routines can give us. So I always talk about the morning routine that I have, and that really helps get me set up for my day. A lot of people have evening routines that they do before bed. I do not have one. I would like to have one, but the way I've organized my life right now, it's not that easy to slot into. So I've been going with a longer morning routine. Also routines throughout the day. Like, how do you set up your days? As you know, because I talk about this all the time, I use Google Calendar and I have recurring tasks and time blocks and all kinds of things set up in my calendar. Now I shift those around. I just got a client this morning that I hadn't planned, but it was someone who has a recurring client who comes back every now and again. She sent me a message on Monday, said, can I have a session this week? We fit her in for this morning. Didn't get all the work done that we wanted to get done, so we've got another session on Friday. So that's meant that I've had to shift things around, which is fine. I love doing that so that I can help this person. But that means I need to be flexible with my schedule and get the things done that I need to get done around the extra sessions that I've booked into my calendar this week. So have a schedule that you can shift around, but have some kind of routine because that can really, really help you feel more organized and like you have a structure that will give you leeway to play with. I find that routines really make me feel a lot more safe and secure. So that's all for now. I hope you found this interesting and useful. If you have any thoughts that you'd like to share with me or any experiences, please drop me a line and let me know. You can email me at holly@hollyworton.com or find me online and get in touch there. I would love to hear from you. I really, really like hearing from listeners, so I would really love to hear your story. And that's all for now. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please let me know. Or please leave a quick review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to this podcast. It would really, really mean the world to me and help me out in terms of getting more visibility for the show. Remember to visit hollyworton.com/310 for the show notes on this episode, including the free download for the Wheel of Safety and Security. And when I say free download, I mean it's free. I'm not going to ask you for your email or to sign up for my list or anything. You can do that if you want, but you can get the download for free. And as always, in a couple of weeks, the transcript will be up for this episode. So if you're the kind of person who wants to listen or find the notes, read the notes because you remembered something that I said, go back and look for the transcript. It will be there in the show notes. So thank you very much and have a fantastic week. Thanks so much for listening to Into the Woods with Holly Worton. You can find more information about today's episode, including links for topics that were discussed at hollyworton.com. That's HOLLYWORTON.com. If you'd like to connect with other listeners and get support on your journey, I would love for you to join my private community on Patreon. That's patreon.com/Holly Worton. That's patreon.com/Holly Worton. Thank you so much for listening, and I look forward to seeing you next week.